This week we have all the latest celebrity nudes.
Wait, don't you mean celebrity news?
No, actually we have celebrity nude news.
Well, making Kent feel like Hollywood, this is the blurb. Hello and welcome to the blurb. I'm Clay O'Neill.
And I'm Macy Kittleberger. We all remember the dreamy Drake Bell from the hit show Drake and Josh. He was off the radar for a while, but now he's back with a very scandalous music video and Instagram post. Bell recently posted a very nude pic of him on his Instagram with only his hand to cover his no-no square. And then an even more shocking music video for his new song, Rewind. Even though Drake looks great, is this something our childhood selves are prepared for? And we may be in the midst of the Winter Olympics, but that hasn't stopped our favorite Summer Olympic champ from making headlines. On Valentine's Day, British diver Tom Daley announced that he and his husband, Lance Black, will be becoming parents. The couple has been together since 2013 and tied the knot last spring. We wish the happy couple all the best in their exciting new adventure.
First Brad and now Jen. Yes, it's true, Jennifer Aniston and Justin Theroux have called it quits. The couple got married back in 2015 and it has had problems ever since, with Jen not wanting to live in New York and Justin not wanting to live in LA. Many problems arose that just couldn't be fixed, and sadly, they have ended things. But who knows, maybe this is the perfect time for Brad and Jen to reunite. And on a much sadder note, I think we can all agree that last week's Parkland shooting rocked us all, but Josh Gad was especially shaken. The actor revealed on Twitter that a friend's son was shot. He said he was angry and sad. The next day, he gave an unfortunate update that the child had died. Gad tweeted his frustrations again, calling leaders worthless and saying, quote, "I'm so sorry, we are bound to repeat this again."
Yes, our thoughts are with everyone in Parkland. But it was the national anthem heard around the world, and pop star Fergie finally has something to say about her viral performance at the NBA All-Star Game. She told TMZ, quote, "I've always been honored and proud to perform the national anthem, and last night I wanted to try something special for the NBA. I'm a risk taker artistically, but clearly this rendition didn't strike the intended tone. I love this country and honestly tried my best," end quote. Videos of NBA players' comical reactions are spreading around Twitter as some are calling it the worst national anthem performance of all time. And if you haven't seen it, well, here you go. Ouch. Well, the British Academy of Film and Television Arts Awards were held this past weekend. It was a star-studded event, even attended by Prince William and Kate Middleton. Many stars wore black in solidarity with the Time's Up and Me Too movement. The night's biggest winner was 3 billboards outside Ebbing, Missouri, taking home 5 awards. The star of the film, Frances McDormand, won an award for her acting, along with Darkest Hours' Gary Oldman.
Star Wars actor Mark Hamill got the chance to poke some fun when a fake Huffington Post Twitter account announced his death. Hamill quoted the tweet saying he was, quote, "truly a legend in his own mind." The original tweet was deleted and Twitter has since suspended the account. And a new movie has become a defining moment for diversity in Hollywood. Disney and Marvel Studios' Black Panther debuted to a record-shattering $242 million on the President's Day box office. The superhero film has passed up Star Wars: The Last Jedi to earn more in its first 4 days than any movie in history in the North American box office. Black Panther also had the highest Monday sales in history with $40.2 million, beating The Force Awakens. Its 3-day earning of $201.8 million is the 5th largest domestic opening of all time and the second superhero title, behind the Avengers.
You know, Clay, I've not really been much of a superhero movie type girl, but after seeing all the reviews for this one, I really kind of want to go see it.
Right, I tried to go and see it this weekend, but the movie time that I wanted to go for was already sold out. So if that doesn't tell you how
Whoa.
good the movie is, then I don't know what it does.
That's absolutely insane. But when we come back, we are talking Fashion Week.
You won't want to miss this.
How can I help my daughter with her reading?
Searching for help with Dachshund reading.
No.
Let me try. Sarah's bright, but when she's reading, she has trouble sounding out words.
Playing world music.
What?
I give up.
Wait, I was trying to show you how Sarah feels every day. Frustrating, isn't it? Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Hello everyone and welcome back. I'm Shelby Rabideau.
And I'm Amanda Atkinson. Last week was Fashion Week for New York, and a few of Kent State students had the opportunity to be there working in the hub backstage.
Today we are joined with Emily Zappi, Sierra Cooter, and then Lauren LeMay. And they're going to be talking about their time working with Kristen Sariano and Nicole Miller backstage for their shows.
So the first thing I want to know is, how did you guys get this opportunity?
So I think you'll hear it from professors a lot that networking is the biggest thing you need to do. So I made a lot of connections, we all did, with people that have graduated, with other people we met just through the fashion school, and also reaching out directly to designers, just sending your resume and saying, this is what I want to do, and just take that chance.
Yeah, you said you worked with, you contacted their PR, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep.
And then, what was the atmosphere like in New York? I know it's always super crazy, but I bet during this time it was even more.
Yeah, it was especially exciting. Everyone was running around with different street styles. There was photographers everywhere. It was just super high energy.
You could feel it anywhere.
That's awesome. Did you guys see any celebrities while you were there?
Yeah, we saw a ton. I saw a bunch of the Real Housewives. They love to attend the fashion shows, and probably the biggest celebrity we saw was Cardi B currently. Yes. She sat first row in the Christian Siriano show, and just a bunch like Coco Rocha, a supermodel, and Whoopi Goldberg was there too. So
awesome. So what were you guys' roles individually? Can you guys tell me what you guys did?
Backstage for the Nicole Miller show, we actually got to be dressers, which is kind of insane. We're dealing directly with her clothes and her garments, so that was a cool experience. And then for Christian Siriano, we kind of worked to set up the venue, did anything that anyone needed, just helping complete tasks, and then we actually seated guests for the show.
So you guys sent in some looks. Can you talk to us about some of your favorite ones? So first, here's our first one.
This is actually from Nicole Miller. So her line was definitely more focused on ready to wear, what you would see people wearing on the streets. So this is kind of like a pantsuit kind of ordeal here. And then a lot of her looks had these scarves. Super easy to tie, but kind of like a statement piece.
Mm-hmm. Nice. And what was the other ones that you liked?
From Christian Siriano, most of his stuff were gowns. He specializes in evening gowns. They were beautiful. He had a collection that was a bunch of red tulle. It was incredible. So one dress in specific, it was just like very boisterous, and it's red tulle. It was beautiful.
You'll definitely be seeing them on the red carpet this year for sure.
Is this the dress that you're talking about?
This is different. This is also a good one. He had a couple of different coats. Ashley Graham, who's a famous plus size model, actually wore one of them that was a different color red, but this was beautiful too.
Awesome.
And I know that Kristen Siriano's show is all about diversity, and he's incorporating not just female models, but male models and different races, different sizes. So that's cool, and you guys got to be a part of that. So how was that for you, seeing that?
It was really awesome. He actually had his sister walk in the show, who he said was his first like muse, so that was really great. And he did have a bunch of just like plus size models and males, and it was crazy because his shoes were a line that he did for Payless. So he had these like very expensive $1,000 gowns, and then he had shoes that he created for Payless. So he just did really well, like mixing the high and low.
That's really cool.
I'm gonna have to get me a pair of those.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so there's one look that you guys sent in that I really want to talk about. Let's see it, guys. There she is.
Yes.
The one.
Was that the one you were talking
That's
about?
the one.
Yeah, that is gorgeous. I mean, the body of the dress is just, the shape is beautiful. All the details are just gorgeous.
This was his finale look, so.
Yeah, you can tell. It's a showstopper.
Huge statement, yeah.
Do you guys know the inspiration behind the look?
This one in particular, I do not.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I had to look that one up for sure because it's beautiful.
Yeah, it is. It's gorgeous.
It was his 10th year anniversary,
yes.
right?
So it was a pretty big production. The venue was gorgeous. You could tell everyone just wanted it to be perfect for him because it was such a big deal. He started so young. He still is young. I think he's only 32. So it's kind of a big night for everyone.
So what advice would you have for other fashion majors who want to get into this industry or want to work in fashion show production?
Yeah. Make connections. And I know you'll hear it all the time, but it does pay off, I think. And also, it's not always going to be glamorous. I mean, we were setting up a venue, putting name cards, you know, but you just take the opportunity and the experience and just go for it. Follow your dreams.
Yeah, you take what you get and you can go from there.
And I think don't be afraid to send ghost emails. Like, we probably send out hundreds of emails to so many different people, and you hear back from just a few, but just go for whatever opportunity comes your way. So
I also thought it was really cool. I remember you told me that when you were setting up the venue, Kristen Siriano was just casually walking around.
Yeah, he would talk to us. And
that's so cool. But thank you guys so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thank you. So now that we've talked fashion, we're going to go through to our beauty expert, Alina, to tell us about the trends and looks from the New York Fashion Week. Take it away, Alina.
Thanks, Chelsea. Hello, beautiful people. Fashion Week was fantastic by bringing in so many new looks in the beauty industry. Some of Calvin Klein's models were wearing their hair dry and natural. I saw a few other looks in the runway with beachy hair looks and tons of colors around the eyes and lips. I decided to do one of the eye and lip just to show you that I can do it with just regular makeup. I have with me some of the makeup. I have Born This Way. I used as my contour. This is my contour, I mean. This is my highlight that I use. Better Than Sex mascara. And lipsticks, lip balm, and my Stila lipstick. Plus my BH Cosmetic palette. Then the new look that stood out to me was the dark maroon color outlined with bright pink, just like I'm wearing it. And of course, the models were not wearing the dark lips with the colorful eye look together. They either had one or the other on. That's all I have for today. Stay beautiful. Back to you, Clay and Macy.
Thank you, Alina. This weekend, Kent will be hosting a TED Talk.
After the break, Grant and Andrea will be sitting down to talk with some of the speakers.
So we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. Already posted it.
A boy born in Joplin, Missouri was fascinated by anything with wheels and a motor. The odds of him winning both the Daytona 500 and the Brickyard 400 in the same year, 1 in 195 million. The odds of a child being diagnosed with autism, 1 in 88. I'm Jamie McMurray, and my niece has autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs.
People think I'm trash, but they're wrong. Today I'm just an aluminum can, but one day I could be a stadium.
Welcome back. This weekend, Kent State will be holding a TED Talk, which our very own Andrea will be hosting.
Thanks,
Congratulations.
Grant. That's right. And today we are sitting down with 4 speakers that will be presenting. Welcome Kassan Brunt and Bruno Bedewick.
All right, Kassan, let's start with you.
Yes.
So do you want to tell us first, what do you do with Kent State?
I serve as Director of Student Support Services and Academic Diversity Initiatives in University College.
Awesome.
How did you get started? Because I knew you grew up in Chicago. How did you get from there to where you're at now?
Absolutely. I have had so many wonderful mentors, teachers, and counselors who've made a tremendous difference in my life and led me to want to become an educator. And so as I think about my experience growing up as a child in Chicago, I followed the path of education into the higher education realm and really got my start in Philadelphia, working at St. Joseph's University. I moved from there to Rosemont College, subsequently Purdue University, just before landing here at Kent State, and it's been wonderful ever since.
Wow. And what about you, Bruno? How did you get from all the way to Brazil all the way to here? Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, basically I went to college for a year in Brazil and it was really boring. I've always watched the movies. American University seemed pretty fun. So I applied to a bunch of places, ended up at Kent State, and now I'm a senior journalism student and got to have this wonderful, just amazing opportunity to give a TED Talk. I'm excited.
Yeah, so speaking of the TED Talk, do you want to ask?
Yeah, well, Kassan, do you want to start with what are you going to be talking about at your TED Talk?
Absolutely, life potential. So I'm really excited to really help individuals to understand their purpose. And so we've done a lot under President Warren's leadership here at Kent State in discovering, excellent, right? In really discovering your purpose. And so I thought it was a wonderful opportunity to be able to speak further in that way.
Wow. And Bruno, what about you? What are you talking about?
So my topic is cultural preservation. I've done quite a lot of research, and I actually spent the summer in Asia doing a reporting fellowship about the importance of, investing in preservation efforts and not allowing languages and cultures to die around the world. So.
Wow. And
where did you? I'm sorry.
No,
where did you get that interest in preservation?
So it was actually quite funny. I did a Pulitzer Center fellowship, and that's a crisis reporting fellowship. And I got there and I couldn't find a crisis, but then I realized that people were not being able to learn about their origins and their roots because Portugal used to colonize Macau, and after it switched over to China, no one else could speak Portuguese in Macau, so the documents weren't being preserved. So someone who was adopted, for example, couldn't read their own adoption papers and learn about their past. So I found that so shocking that someone couldn't learn about where they came from because of a language issue. So it fascinated me because I'm really big into language learning. So.
Sure. I know after hearing your talk at the rehearsal, I learned a lot from what all of the speakers had to say, but I think that's going to be a great thing to talk about because I don't think a lot of people do think about that.
Appreciate it.
And Kassan, I know that you're opening the show.
Yes.
And I have a little surprise for you.
Okay.
So, are you able to sing a little song for us in order to give our viewers just a little hint about what you might be doing?
This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. This little light of mine.
Wow.
I'm going to let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
Thank you
Wow,
for
that
that.
was beautiful. You should have done the national anthem.
Yeah, you
too.
should have.
You were too kind.
That's great.
Thank you.
Now, why did you choose that song to open up the show with?
Yes, and so the song This Little Light of Mine encourages us to let our light shine. There is a light within each and every one of us. And as we have the courage to understand and to work to figure out how to utilize that light, I think everyone that we come in contact with will benefit and will be tremendously impacted by that which we choose to have courage to show.
Oh, that's amazing.
Well, that's awesome. Well, thank you guys. When we return, we will be sitting down with 2 more TEDx speakers. Stick around.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move. So I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Keeping you informed and ahead of the storm. TV2 weather.
Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys are much too much. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We got the spirit. We're hot. We can't be stopped. We're going to beat them and bust them. Beat them.
The smallest moments can have the biggest impact on a child's life.
Let's get a little bit rowdy. R-O-W-D-Y.
Take time to be a
One
dad
more time.
today.
Oh, those boys are much too much. Those boys.
I'm Dick Goddard. You're watching KSU Channel 2.
Every day across America, excess food is gathered by a network of good people at local food banks, giving hope to millions of children who struggle with hunger. They've earned their wings, and you can too. Together, we can solve child hunger. Support Feeding America and your local food bank at feedingamerica.org.
Sure. So before the break, we sat down with Bruno and Kassan. Now we are joined with 2 more TEDx speakers, Michael Gersh and Pam Haar. Welcome to the show, guys. It's good to see you again.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, so basically your stories, totally different, but all come back to the little pale blue dot. Can you guys tell us a little bit about your stories and what you have to say for the TEDx event?
I'm going to be speaking about the Green Dot program, which is a program that will help people feel empowered to speak up when they see issues of sexual or power-based violence. So we're talking sexual harassment, sexual assault, and relationship violence. And by learning these 3 different strategies, that as a collective community, we can make a difference in the culture that we all live in.
Wow, that's really important, especially because, as you know, we have the Green Dot program here at Kent State University. Mm-hmm. But for our viewers that don't know much about the Green Dot program, can you explain a little bit about that?
Yes, it's 3 different strategies. The first is do something. So that means putting yourself out there in a situation where you might see someone at risk. The second is delegate. So sometimes you may be in a situation where you're not at a comfort level yourself and you have no business handling it yourself. So that might be delegating to somebody who is in a position of power. Or it could be asking somebody else for help with the situation, even if they are not in a power position. And the last one is distract, which is a way to kind of circumvent, I guess, problems as they're happening by creating a distraction, whether it's something fun or something, as I'm going to talk about in my talk, a little bit rude. So that's those 3 strategies. I think they would work in all areas of at-risk behaviors, whether it's talking about sexual and power-based violence, or even in the case of the shooting in Florida, do something, distract, and delegate. Those 3 things could make a difference in any type of situation where you have people at risk.
Oh, thank you.
I feel like oftentimes people are like you said, kind of uncomfortable. They're scared to speak up or have a voice. So it's important for people to be able to have an outlet to find a voice or find help in having a voice in that.
Well, that's why the Green Dot program is so successful, because it's so simple. Like, you find what you're comfortable doing and then do it. And if you're not comfortable, find someone who is. And it's that simple. If we all just did a little something, we really could have an impact on the whole world.
I agree. And Michael, what about you?
I'll be doing a program called The Magic of Life, which is about impaired driving prevention. I'm a survivor of a drunk driving crash that killed my mother and almost myself when I was an infant. So it's a fun way to present the program, so it's a little bit of humor, because I know any day that I wake up is a good day, and if I can help make a difference and make someone laugh, then it's a pretty good day for myself.
Yeah, and I know that you're also a stand-up comedian.
Yes, been doing that for over 20 years. I started doing it after graduate school, which is the best financial plan in the whole entire world, is go to grad school and go, I'm going to do comedy now.
That sounds like the perfect plan, honestly. I might think about doing that too.
Yeah, right.
But I know Grant and I would love to hear a little joke, maybe.
Little joke. I can't sing, so we'll see if I can get some laughs. I'll do one that it's about my father. He just passed away 3 weeks ago, so it's one that I did at his eulogy too. When I was younger, my father, he always wanted me to learn on my own, like independence. But I would go to my dad, and if I couldn't spell a word, I would go to my dad and go, hey, Dad, how do you spell this word? And he would say, well, go look it up in the dictionary. Well, I can't. I don't know how to spell it. And then he would say, well, sound it out. Yeah, great advice you give your kid who's in speech therapy. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Dad. I love you. You know, all I know is since I've been 8 years old, I wanted Sally, who sold seashells by the seashore, to be eaten by a shark. So that's one of my favorite ones that I like.
Thank you for that.
I love how you find humor to talk about such a serious topic of drunk driving.
Oh, sure. It's a serious topic, but I'm immature as is, but I think humor, there's a lot of doom and gloom programs out there, and I think the human spirit can only take so much of that. Yeah. So the laughter brings everyone back down to feeling good about themselves before we go up and down, in terms of the curves, in terms of the human emotion. So if I can make them laugh first, and they get to know who I am when I share my story, and then it's a little bit more powerful in terms of hitting them where it counts.
I love that. Yeah. And well, thank you both so much. We're looking so forward to seeing you guys on Saturday. Yeah. If you want to see them and many more amazing speakers, as well as our lovely, just kidding, that's me, Andrea at TEDx, you can attend the event on Saturday, February 24th in Kent State's Kiva from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
And you can find more information and purchase your tickets at www.tedxkentstate.com. Back to you, Macy and Clay.
Looks amazing. Well, that will do it for us this week. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at TV2 The Blurb. I'm Clay O'Neill.
And I'm Macy Kittleberger. We will see you next week.
Good
Goodbye.
Night.
Why did we say that?
Your daughter just had her first breakup. Do you A, put yourself in her shoes? B, console her?
Don't worry, sweetie. This is gonna happen a lot.
Or C, find her a new boyfriend?
Nice, single boys. That was weird.
As a parent, there are no perfect answers. But you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate, and it's worn like a badge of honor with good reason. because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.